Choosing a soulmate is a major step. That person can become your greatest love or your worst nightmare. Today's case reflects the latter. When someone struggles with emotional instability and constant conflict, the relationship can spiral into tragedy. And when a person suddenly disappears, finding the truth becomes even harder. Tracy Gastomski was born on August 28, 1970, in Council Bluffs, near Omaha, Nebraska. She grew up an only child in a small town. When she was 10, her parents divorced, but they stayed on good terms for her sake. Her father later remarried, and Tracy formed a warm relationship with her stepmother and stepsister. Tracy was known as a kind girl who adored animals. She often fed stray cats and dogs, even giving them her school lunch. Her compassion for animals stayed with her into adulthood. In the early 2000s, during a breakup, she met Tracy Tribble. Their relationship seemed like a fresh start, and in July 2003, they got married. But behind the surface, their marriage was full of tension and arguments. The two couldn't seem to live with or without each other. They moved closer to Tracy's family, hoping to improve things, but conflicts only worsened. Within months, police became involved after Tracy accused Stanley of trying to strangle her. Marks were faint, and although Stanley denied everything, he was arrested but later released when Tracy withdrew her complaint. Afterward, the police were called repeatedly to their home due to loud alcohol-fueled arguments. The couple rented a house from their friend Chris, who knew them well and often tried to calm them down. Neighbors grew used to hearing screaming on weekends. On weekdays, the home appeared quiet, but tensions simmered. On May 1, 2006, during their anniversary celebration, another drunken fight broke out. Tracy threw a phone at Stanley, enraging him. She ended up hiding and later called Stanley's sister for help. The sister spent the night with Tracy, who was too afraid to stay home. She returned the next day, still shaken. Tracy told friends she planned to visit her close friend Melissa on May 3 to talk about her marriage and possibly divorce. She never showed up. Melissa tried calling her repeatedly, but received no response. Stanley came home from work around 6 p.m. on May 3 and noticed Tracy wasn't there, unusual, as her car, purse, and keys were still at home. He claimed they had argued the night before, and had gone to bed while she continued shouting past midnight. He said she was alive when he left for work at 7 a.m. Concern grew when he realized both the family dog and cat were missing as well. Soon after, Animal Control reported finding the dog wandering the neighborhood without a leash, something Tracy would never allow. Stanley began calling friends, but no one had heard from her. Her workplace confirmed she hadn't shown up that morning. Stanley reported Tracy missing. Detectives inspected the house and found no signs of forced entry or struggle. Stanley calmly cooperated, allowing searches of his home, car, and phone. He showed no injuries that would indicate a recent fight. Police initially believed he likely wasn't involved. A large search operation began. Stanley participated alongside Tracy's family, distributing flyers and speaking to the media. Volunteers joined in, partly motivated by another recent local disappearance, 12-year-old Amber Harris, whose remains were later found, leading to the arrest of Roy Ellis Jr. But disappearances continued. Just a week after Tracy vanished, 19-year-old Jessica Agrate also went missing. Her boyfriend was arrested, further heightening community fear. Tracy's father launched a hotline and offered a $70,000 reward for information. He rejected Stanley's claims that Tracy was depressed or suicidal, saying she was excited about a new job and future plans. He found Stanley's unemotional behavior suspicious and demanded he take a polygraph test. Before that could happen, on May 19, a nude female body was found in the Mississippi River. Severe injuries made visual identification impossible, but forensic tests confirmed it was 35-year-old Tracy Tribble. Her body was found just 7 kilometers from her home. The autopsy revealed she had been brutally beaten with a blunt metal object. Most injuries were to the face and skull, leaving her unrecognizable. Dozens of bones were broken, and she was heavily intoxicated at the time, likely unable to defend herself. The medical examiner determined she died from massive internal injuries and possibly strangulation, though decomposition made some findings uncertain. The nature of the attack, prolonged, rage-filled, and personal, suggested the killer was someone close to her. Suicide was ruled out immediately. Stanley repeated his story about Tracy's depression and earlier hospitalization, claiming she might have harmed herself or run away. But no evidence supported this. He remained calm when told of her death, showing little emotion, which Tracy's family found deeply suspicious. In August 2006, Stanley was arrested for first-degree murder. While in jail, he began confiding to inmates. Multiple prisoners reported nearly identical confessions. Stanley told them he snapped around 2 a.m. because Tracy wouldn't stop screaming. After the first blow, he couldn't stop. He continued beating her until he was exhausted. Then he cleaned the house and disposed of the body before going to work the next morning as if nothing had happened. Stanley denied these confessions, claiming inmates were lying for reduced sentences. Yet their stories aligned in specific details. Combined with the couple's history of violence, Tracy's last phone activity inside the home, and the timeline of events, prosecutors felt they had enough to go to trial, despite lacking physical evidence like blood or DNA linking Stanley to the crime. During the trial, jailhouse witnesses testified, and prosecutors highlighted Stanley's inconsistent statements to friends and police. Tracy's belongings, phone, purse, keys, car, never left the house. Her last call was to Stanley's sister at 10:45 p.m. on May 2nd. Prosecutors argued the murder happened that night or early the next morning. The jury found Stanley Tribble guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Multiple appeals failed. He remains incarcerated in Nebraska, where he will likely spend the rest of his life. Subscribe to True Crime. See you in the next videos.